Go ahead.
Co-founder, chief marketing officer of ARWall. We specialize in AR, XR solutions for film, TV, retail, and experientials. We have two products. I'd like to start with our film tool, ARFX. If you wanted to use existing virtual production tools, you'd be facing what you see on the left, a complicated interface and at least 60 pages of setup documentation. Ours is on the right. If you've ever set up a second monitor for your computer, you already have the expertise needed. Our patented calibration software, XR Sync, takes one button press in 5 seconds, and it currently takes a team of engineers hours to do the same with other products. The next evolution for us with this is making this available for creators stuck in quarantine. ARFX Home Studio is an all-in-one hardware, software solution for actors, for hosts, influencers, etc. We're offering a monthly subscription with a library of stock environments and creative support. Our first batch is expected to be at least 100 units, 2 million in initial revenue with 200,000 MRR. Our goal for batch 2 is to bring costs down to scale, with scaling, generate 6x initial revenue and over 1.5 million in MRR. This is our second product. This is ARWall Interactive. It's consumer facing and ideal for places such as theater lobbies where you might want users to engage with an upcoming release, or a transportation hub like an airport where you want users to access departure information or check-in, and FECs where gamers can engage in experiences beyond what is capable from their home console or PCs. Our system is scalable and can accommodate any space. ARWall Interactive requires no headset, no goggles, no wearables. It doesn't even require a dedicated employee to run it. We're trying to make it as simple as possible for brands to create XR experiences for their locations that is plug and play, ready to use, that's hygienic, and that gets people off their phones and engaged. There we go. So, touch-free in real time. We believed that before, and we believe that even more so now in the midst of the pandemic. Here's how we're helping brands move forward. Our systems, the arrays have IR sensors that can detect temperature, heart rate, and other wellness indicators. We have onboard mics that can identify characteristic dry cough and heavy breathing. And if needed, our system can notify a responsible body or notify the user directly that they may be ill. For highly trafficked spaces, going touch-free is no longer a nice to have, but likely going to be a mandate in the future. And we think this technology will be essential as we transition from current to post-pandemic life. These are two of our most recent clients. I'm happy to forward the case studies to anyone who's interested in looking them over. And here's a summary of our accomplishments. We started with 51,000 founder funded. That got our initial R&D done. We raised 2 million in a series seed. Right now we have 2 patents awarded and 3 more pending and 11 trademarks worldwide. Thank you.
Thanks, Harry.
Great presentation, man. Loved it. How much you're raising? Give me the terms and take me back to the COVID thing real quick.
Sure. So we were raising 10 million. We're now currently reevaluating that though, because we started the raise prior to the pandemic, and market expectations have changed, adoption has changed. I'd be more than happy to connect with you though, with our CFO, so you could talk that over. As far as the pandemic related stuff, all of our experientials are run basically through user interaction. So we're tracking people's body positions, we're tracking their eye lines, we're tracking the movements that they're making, and that powers the interaction based on what the brand wants. So for instance, with the M&M's slide that I showed briefly, they wanted to play a mini game, right? So we're tracking all of those things in the background passively. What we can do is take the wellness indicators that I spoke of and feed that information to the responsible body. So if we set up an installation in an airport, for instance, where people are checking in to get their tickets, we could be passively checking temperature and breathing, and potentially notify, you know, that airport that this individual may be sick and encourage them to check in with a wellness center. It could be something along those lines. It depends on what the venue or the space wants to use that information for.
Is that a real thing or is that a thought?
No, it's something that's already possible right now.
So what do you want from us? You don't need money. Looks like you're doing good. What are you doing here?
What we want right now is actually more clients. We had a lot of business lined up prior to the pandemic, and then obviously that sort of fell apart. What we're most interested in really is getting the interactive kiosks out there into public spaces to show off the usefulness. So we're looking for responsible spaces that are planning on opening soon and that are looking for ways to entice audiences to come back, whether that's movie theaters or malls or the like. We'd like to partner with them to give them not only experiences that can drive traffic, but also make them feel a little bit more safe, knowing that perhaps there's some background tracking that's happening that could protect the crowd that's gathering there.
Can you talk a little about your unit economics? I saw that you retailed that the units are 12 to 20,000 and your margin's 50%, so your COGS is 6 to 10,000. Did I get that correctly?
Sure, that's for the home unit, the film tool that you're speaking of, right?
Yeah, and also I was more focused on the enterprise, so help me understand the enterprise economics.
Sure. So the unit economics, it basically breaks down to two different things. There are two products that we're trying to sell, right? One is the home studio tool, and we're talking with agencies, with studios, and with content creators to try to figure out how much power they need to have in those machines. You know, we initially built machines for feature films and for television production, which is possibly overkill for most home studios. So they don't necessarily need the amount of hardware inside of it that, for instance, you would need on a major TV production. So we're working with them to try to figure out how to scale back so that it's still a robust offering, but still gives them an edge over, you know, sitting in front of their bookshelf or simply putting up a green screen behind them. So it's a little bit squishy on that, and we're still coming with the final term for that. The unit figure that we have pretty much firmly in place is our interactive kiosk, which you saw a version of that in the M&M slide. That is currently priced at $15,000 for that freestanding kiosk. It's a TV, it's the hardware for the tracking solution, it's a computer, and it's the kiosk itself. We can scale up. We have some partners that are producing those right now. So the unit cost is 15, and really where we're making the money is the content creation and the creative services. So we basically get, for instance, a mall on the hook. Maybe they install 2 of these units, but we're rolling out fresh content every month, every quarter, every 6 months, however often they want it. And we're simply updating the content that's on the system. So potentially these units, once they're installed, will be evergreen. There will always be new content on it.
Thank you.